An option for a wish. In other words, by spending 10% of one's XP bar, one could make one choice. By spending 50%, one could pick from 5 choices. There were many choices that could be made for a wish. According to online walkthroughs, there were over 200 of them. In addition, some wishes were more common than others. Thus this was a dreadful spell which many feared would deplete their XP for nothing. Even in Yggdrasil, where gaining levels was easy, one would still need a lot of XP to cast it, given that a magic caster needed to be level 95 before learning this super tier spell. Thus, many people hesitated over whether or not to gamble their XP on this sort of thing. Diamond suit, diamond suit, diamond suit. The choices one could make when casting Wish Upon a Star from the ring were randomly generated, much like the original spell. However, one was more likely to get useful selections, and fewer joke selections. From a certain point of view, one might say it was a better version of the spell. In addition, one would be presented with up to 10 choices to pick from, and there would be no casting time. It was worthy of being called the best cash item. Of course, it felt like a shame, and a bit of a gamble, to have to use a cash item like this. However, Shaltir was irreplaceable. In addition, using his own leftover XP would affect his use of other skills which drained his XP, so he had his doubts about going that route. Ains stared at his ring. Ains hoped that he would be given a choice to negate all effects on a given target. He had also thought of several other alternatives, but that was the most direct option which came to mind. Very few people would pick that wish since it would also negate all positive effects. Thus, Ains laughed at himself for thinking of it. Then, hear me, O ring. I wish. Of course, he did not need to speak those words to activate the item. However, he was driven by his desire to be granted the most optimal choice from over 200 available options, hence his cry. It was like how one might shout during a tense moment in a game or over a throw of the dice. Since the magic of this world seemed to operate along the same lines as Yggdrasil, the ring should be able to remove Shaltir's mind control. Or rather, that was what Ains hoped would be the case. The scenario Ains most feared, that the spell did not work, did not come to pass. The ring released the magic stored within it into this world, and then the red points of light within Ains' eye sockets shrank. What is this? It felt as though new information was being entered into his mind, something along the lines of displeasure. At the same time, he felt like he had been connected to something vast, something like joy, perhaps. Many of the emotions Ains had felt, while he was still human, washed over him. Once the ripples of emotion faded away, Ains realized that Wish Upon a Star worked differently here than it did in Yggdrasil. When Ains had first learned of Nfiria's talent, he had idly wondered if he could steal it with Wish Upon a Star. Now, he realized that he could have done it. In this world, Wish Upon a Star was a spell that would grant its caster's wishes. Although it would still expend XP, Wish Upon a Star was now a spell that could make the impossible possible. In addition, by sacrificing 5 levels, 500% of his XP bar, one could make even greater wishes come true. With that in mind, Ains felt certain that he could dispel the magical effects on Shaltir. As triumph surged through him, Ains shouted, "Dispel all effects on Shaltir." A beat later, the lights in Ains' eyes grew steadily larger. What is this? Albedo realized that something had changed when she saw Ains' agitated reaction. She uneasily asked, "What's the matter, Ains-sama?" Ains had no time to answer. He was recalling the news he had absorbed from various walkthrough sites, his own long experience with Yggdrasil, then combining them with what he had learned ever since coming to this world. The most important parts of that was the information concerning the use of Wish Upon a Star, the spell which had completely overturned Ains' accumulated knowledge. Anxiety and anger filled Ains as he came to a conclusion. However, he could feel something else even through the emotion suppression that should have kept him calm: fear. Ains shouted pathetically, We're falling back. Albedo, over here. We're retreating now." "Why, yes." Ains cast his teleportation spell, and in the next moment, a berm of earth filled his eyes. Though he was now safe at home, Ains ordered in a panic, "Albedo, watch out for anyone who might have teleported after us." "Yes." Albedo drew her weapon and stood by Ains' side. Ains raised both his hands, taking a stance to deal with anything which might come. As time passed, Ains allowed himself to slowly relax. Albedo too stood down from her ready stance, back into her normal posture. Damn it. After he calmed down, he was filled with furious anger. His emotional peaks were automatically cut out after becoming undead, but even though they were suppressed, the anger welled up inside him once more. Damn it. Damn it. Damn it. Ains kicked at the ground over and over again. Since Ains' physical strength was far greater than normal, each kick sent forth a massive quantity of soil. If it had not rained just a few days ago, the surrounding area might have been engulfed in a huge cloud of dust. Even so, it could not quench Ains' anger. Ains-sama, please, be at peace." Ains noticed the undercurrent of fear in Albedo's voice, and he finally realized that his behavior was not fitting of an absolute ruler. He swiftly calmed himself down, forcefully exhaling the breath he did not possess. It felt as though he was expelling the fiery wrath consuming him through that breath. "Forgive me. I seem to have lost my senses for a moment. Pay that unsightly scene no heed. Please do not say that. However, I am grateful that you took my suggestion to heart, Ains-sama. If it is your wish that I forget ever seeing that, then I shall remove it from my mind. However, what happened? Did I displease you, Ains-sama? If you are willing to tell me, I shall strive not to let it happen again. My anger was not directed at you, Albedo. It was because I learned that my wish did not come true, even after activating the power of the ring." Seeing how Albedo remained silent, Ains knew that his explanation was insufficient, so he continued, "There is only one thing which can trump the power of the super-tier spell Wish Upon a Star." Perhaps earlier, he might have thought it was interference from something in this world, but Ains was confident that it was not the case. This was because he had sensed it as he activated the ring. It can't be, that would be. Yes, Albedo. There is only one thing which can do that, the power of world-class items. There were only 200 of these items in Yggdrasil, and not even guild weapons, or divine-class items could compare to them. The power of world-class items was such that even controlling the undead, who were immune to mental effects, would be a piece of cake. Just then, Albedo thought of the guardians outside Nazarick, and how they might become targets. He rebuked himself for not thinking of this possibility, and then Ains ordered Albedo, recall all the guardians from the outside world immediately. We must verify if they have been controlled like Shaltir. Head to the throne room without delay. After that, we shall proceed to the treasury. Clone. New paste. Few persons can be made to believe that it is not quite an easy thing to invent a method of secret writing which shall baffle investigation. Yet it may be roundly asserted that human ingenuity cannot concoct a cipher which human ingenuity cannot resolve. Edgar Allan Poe. 183,785 pastes opened. Based on an original idea from sebsavage.net. Sam and Max.